Good afternoon and welcome to this URugby Bowl Series matchup between the University of Mary Washington and Temple University. This is John Broker here with Ryan Trost of This is American Rugby and Matt McCarthy of Rugby Wrap-Up. And we're getting set for this matchup as we have the Temple Owls in black and University of Mary Washington, a real up-and-coming team, is going to be in white. So Ryan, what do we know about these teams? What do we this exciting matchup?
Well, both of these teams are coming in pretty pumped up. They've had decent seasons. They're happy with their records. They wanted it to be a little bit better, but overall they're happy with where they ended up. And it's going to be a competitive game. I think Mary Washington may have a little bit of an advantage, as we talked about last night. But Temple's going to come in and try to do what they can do.
All right, Temple is set to kick off here. We apologize with Temple. We got their roster really late, so if we, mess up a few names, we'll get that going. But Ryan here, and we're set to go. And a kickoff there from Temple. Mary Washington fields it. And quickly in as we go. Let's see what Mary Washington's intention is as the ball out there. It looks like to Alex Clegg, the senior. And here we got a moving forward. It's a big number 4, Philip Harrison, Virginia native. Straight off the side there from scrum half Corley. But a quick penalty.
I think what makes ONS special is that it has everything that makes academic medicine great. We have the fellowship-trained specialists, but we still bring the style and type of medicine that's indicative of a community practice.
We are all trained in our area of interest and expertise, so our patients see a doctor who specializes in their particular injury.
I did have 2 consults with major New York City hospitals, but I just felt that the care was best here. I was treated like a rock star. The surgery exceeded any expectations that I had.
And we're back.
And here with Temple once again driving forward, and there's Ramos. Moves the ball to Beck.
If you're just tuning in, we've had a couple of hiccups here technologically, but we hope that you're still with us. And it's continuing a glorious day of rugby with a 14-7 score. We've got, about 11 minutes or so?
Yeah, 11, 12 minutes to go here. It's 14-7 at Temple here at the URugby Bowl Series. Again, this is John Broker with Matt McCarthy and Ryan Trost as Temple takes the ball forward here in this exciting matchup. Oh, and he can't just quite stay on the line. Takes a little slide on the asphalt.
Little Philippe Petit on the tightrope, couldn't stay on it, and we had a lineup.
I like the individual competition that's developing between the 14 and Mary Washington and little Aiden Gallagher over here. 14's been burned by him a couple of times. He's starting to put a little bit of personality on those hits, trying to throw him around a little bit and make sure he gets them.
We'll see if that pays off as the game goes on.
Guys, here's I think this is Bensing throwing it in, right? He's a hooker, but he can also play center.
Kind of a common theme as sevens has developed throughout the nation.
Clegg moves it in behind. We got a little backline move going on here as the ball's in the fullback's hands. And the fullback finding some room there is Northwood. Not from the Northwoods, he's from England. And ball continuing to go forward there with the University of Mary Washington. As it is to the number 7's hands, Tucker Tuning, the captain. And again, the endeavor to move it wide doesn't work with a little knock forward. And Temple may get to capitalize on this.
So transitions tightening throughout the first half.
Temple keeping the ball up here, and the big fellas from Mary Washington happy to oblige. As the ball comes popping out for Ramos, and we have a diving over penalty against Mary Washington. Temple again, themselves in a good attacking position.
See what Matt Beck's foot can do on this. Unless they want to run it out again, they might be doing that.
If I'm Lenny Ramos, I kick this one out. Or into touch, as you say.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I agree. You want the field position.
And he doesn't get great distance on that one, but they get inside the Mary Washington half. We're going to have a line out here for Temple. Should be Oscar Hernandez, who's done some hard work in the loose. Coming in to put this ball in.
Looks like they're pretty well organized for their set piece play here. You see a lot of the guys agreeing with the calls.
Temple goes to the middle of the line out successfully. The ball's in Beck's hands. He's got runners in a couple of distances, but a little delayed pass there beautifully. Looks like the outside center, Archie.
Great
and the
support
ball
play.
is, it is try awarded to Temple there. Just fantastic work. Was that Archie? Was that the number 13? We couldn't see with that jersey colors again there.
That was great work both on the inside.
I think you might be right. I think it might be the kid searching for a last name, James Archie.
I thought that was a great play. A great inside ball to the inside man off of the fly half, and then great support play.
Try for Temple. James Archie. You know it's coming from there? No, but like,
2 minutes before the game. And looking for a conversion here from Temple as they're starting to pull away here against this Mary Washington team.
who's that on the conversion, fellas?
Can't see the number on the front.
Seems to be a Temple player, Matt.
The Dominion of difference maker, attempting the kick.
Oh, that was Matt Beck, the fly half. And Mary Washington up against it here with just about 7 minutes to go.
Version no good.
No good. 19-7, the Temple Owls over Mary Washington here at the URugby Bowl Series. And Clegg, the Finnish international,
We think we're going to see
the
some
student
urgency.
body president, like a young Matt McCarthy.
Got to see
Until
some
I was
urgency.
impeached.
Sorry, Ryan, what was that?
I say got to see some urgency at this point now with Mary Washington, right? They've come in with the plan and it's not working yet. They might want to just loosen it up and get the ball moving.
Yeah, I get the sense there's a lot of players have been playing together for a while at Temple here, and sort of a new program at Mary Washington getting it together. They got some promising players there as Ramos moves it back out to Beck. Beck goes wide, just a little bounce pass in there. Gallagher gets away from one and gets the ball popped out of his hand.
One thing about Gallagher out there on the wing, he's had to field one ground ball after the next. They've got to get passes to the kid. He's making all those pickups, but he's under the gun as a result. He's not getting his clean bursts, and the defender was able to poke the ball away. But clean pass, he might be springing the corner.
Yeah, we've seen him make great steps, even picking the ball up off the dirt. So with that extra space, we hopefully see some even better stuff.
We go Mary Washington scrum. It's going to be you and Corley.
I'm not even out there. How's it being Corley? Badoom cha.
We forgot our actual drum and cymbal. And here's Corley again to Clegg. Clegg, they got a wraparound move here. I was supposed to go to Justin Ford, but
Ryan, I don't know if you guys spoke about it yet, but did you know that Clegg is actually was a high school quarterback?
Yeah, I have not spoken about that yet. And I mean, you see a lot of the guys making transfers from the football to the rugby and doing well. I think he's a good example of the way you can cross codes. They're both excellent games, both just a little bit different. You get a true athletic mind going, and you can make that transition.
and Andrew Lamarca, the sophomore, is being sent off for 10 minutes. Had a bit of a heated discussion with the referee there, but he's certainly not going to take any of it, as they're going to miss this 6'3", 230-pounder. And Temple gets another penalty here, just under 5 minutes on the clock. Temple not making ground on these.
Yeah, not great kicks for the touch, but holding on to that possession.
Yeah, it's a lonely feeling, and you're alone on the pitch after you don't kick the ball more than 10 meters on a free kick when you're back, especially as a scrum half, and be so close to the guys that are playing in the scrum, and they're just looking at you and shaking their heads.
Thanks for relieving the pressure.
Oscar Hernandez tries to get up, topped away there by Mary Washington, but comes back up into the hands of Jeremy Engel.
More sharp hands, sharp play with that loose ball bouncing around. Who's coming up with the Temple? Good hands all day.
And Temple looking to capitalize, being a man up for the next 10 minutes. But a huge hit there by one of the Mary Washington boys. And away we go here. Temple once again. Tricky feet, little kick forward. Clegg coming across for it. Bad bounce on this turf. And Mary Washington has it in hand. We'll see what happens here as not releasing with that oncoming Temple defense. And Temple goes quick.
It was a head by Temple.
And now Temple looks to go wide here. Back. Tries to pass it across. Goes to pretty much no one. And Mary Washington has some space but unable to capitalize. But not sure if they still have the advantage inside their own zone there. As they try to push forward. And I think we're going to go back to that advantage. We're going to have here for Mary Washington. A reminder, they're missing their number 8 for the next few minutes.
Yeah, that was a chance there. They did have the overload on the wing. That guy could have got that offload off. They probably could have gotten a lot better ground. I think Gallagher could probably chase the other wing down, but would have been a good race.
It'll be interesting to watch Gallagher. He's had a busy first half, but again, if he gets some clear passes, some crisp passes, he might be able to break those.
Oh yeah. I think I've been most impressed by him and so far this hooker for Temple with all of the sprightly runs that he's been pulling out of the back of the pack.
Early hit there from Temple. We have a penalty for Mary Washington.
You know, just from vantage point, Ryan, it's interesting what you saying that George Washington felt that they were the smaller team in a way, right? And I'm looking at some of these backs from Temple, and they look like they are built low to the ground.
Yeah, I agree, and I think Mary Washington should be surprised at the fact that they've, for the first time, got a size advantage when they're used to not having it, and yet they're still getting beat pretty soundly so far in the first half.
Clegg doesn't get too much distance, but it was a tough kick from the middle of the field there.
I wonder if they're a little bit guilty, Matt, of changing their game plan when they see, oh my gosh, we're finally bigger than somebody, let's ram it, and they've gotten away from maybe what they do best.
Yeah, again, you know, we saw that earlier in the matchup with Iona and AIC where you had a guy like Matt Jones at number 8, and they kind of got away from him running it up the middle with using his side. And ironically, he well, not ironically, but later on, he scored the game changer right up the gut under the posts. This is what these guys ought to do from Mary Washington.
Yep.
Mary Washington moves it across the field, and then again bringing wings in around the back there and looking to exploit that side of the field. It's a great run there and able to stay in touch. Wow. And nothing but room to run. Wow. We're going to have a Mary Washington try here. Nice little moves and a great individual effort. We'll see who our try scorer was in just a second, but Mary Washington, just as you boys are talking about it, is pretty quick.
There it is, ball in hand, run the ball, rugby league light as they like to call it, stay on your feet, get the ball moving, and ball in hand, make a play.
I believe that's going to be George Northwood. We'll check the number when it comes back.
Waiting for him to turn.
And it is Northwood.
George Northwood with the try for Mary Washington.
Much like Matt McCarthy, George Northwood from England, not like Matt McCarthy, but national level ballroom dancer.
It was good, nice conversion. 14.
And conversion good. It's 14 to 19. The University of Mary Washington trails here in this URugby Bowl series.
Mary Washington. That's a big score right before the half. I mean, we're out on the scoreboard. We're basically out of time. We're on the refs' dime right now, and that could prove to be a huge moment in this match.
Yeah, momentum changers like that. You want them at halftime and, of course, at the end of the game. You hear people talk about it all the time. You want to finish your half very strong. You want to start well, but you want to finish strong.
Temple goes long into Iskowitz's hands, and he makes a barreling run, showing that surprising speed. And the ball comes back to some more forward runners there.
They're playing in
Harrison takes
time.
it in. Now Clegg looking wide there. I think they know where their space might be. Northwood moves it off that time, and well covered is the wing. Dragged to the ground, but there's Northwood.
And gents, if you looked at Northwood galloping down the field, he looked like he was twice the size of the backs of Temple.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something they have to consider as well.
Yep, tall, lean guys. All
And
through
going
this
side to
lineup.
side here now is a very thin, contracted defense there from Temple. Mary Washington seems to be exploiting that. You can see that again. There's huge room out right with not a lot of defenders if they can move it that way. Mary Washington in white here.
Great run by Matson Bush to set that up.
Yep. Saw his line, took it.
Looks like we're gonna have another. Well, we're actually gonna go from Big Mac Stacy, the 6'6" freshman, moves it across the field into the center. They're picked up well. Little dubby by Bush.
Still with the ball. Brought down finally. And
Corley there in the back, but kind of sealing it off and coming over are those Mary Washington players. And Temple wants to go quick here with no time on the clock.
that scrum half has some steps on him, doesn't he?
Ramos taking up the gut there.
These boys not afraid. And a little errant pass there comes up Mary Washington's way with an advantage to Mary Washington. Room both ways. If they come out to the left here, they got plenty of room. We'll see if they can get it out there. And there is Bensink. Bensink to Clegg. Clegg, the Finnish international, brings it in. I just like saying that, by the way.
Temple there.
And the ball is out to the freshman again, Dacey. Now
Still
a little
good
wide
space.
room. We'll see if they want to go with it. Good rush defense there by an outside runner from Temple to shut that down.
Terrence McPhillips tried to pull that one back in a little fake, but no go on the part of the Temple defense.
And the ball is back in Iskowitz's hands to barrel the ball in.
Good communication going on for Temple's defense right here.
And a penalty
the
there
space.
against Temple.
They're not allowing Mary Washington to find their space, covering their space when they have an overload. They're quickly getting guys over to it.
And no time on the clock here.
What do you
they
do
go
here,
quick.
fellas?
They decided to go quick. I think the referee told them there was no time, so to get the ball up to Dacey.
I would have gone to posts.
Yeah, unless you don't have the kicker to do it, right? That was outside the 20. I mean, I think they want to put on a show maybe too. It's the bowl series, last chance for your seniors. You want big points. You finish this half with 2 tries. You're talking about a large momentum swing.
And there's McPhillips again, moves the ball wide, and they're looking to get to that outside space as a Temple player is left in their wake. And there's Corley.
Does not look comfortable.
Not a lot of width on the offense here, but we have whistle as the referee stops what's going on to come back and look at this injured player.
If it's any consolation, having been there a zillion times, he has rolled over on his own a couple of times. So he is in pain, but it looks like it's something that he's going to be okay.
Yeah, when they're lying that prone, sometimes it looks a little bit scary. But I see he did have all his motor functions. And looks like the referee's setting up for there to be one last play after they clear the injured player.
Yeah, it looks like they're dealing with his arm or his shoulder. He's getting back up to his feet.
Can't quite make out that dark number.
And I believe, is he calling half there?
Yeah, looks that way. Yeah.
Halftime here at the URugby Bowls series as the Temple Owls lead the University of Mary Washington 19-14. And
I think what makes ONS special is that it has everything that makes academic medicine great. We have the fellowship-trained specialists, but we still bring the style and type of medicine that's indicative of a community practice.
We are all trained in our area of interest and expertise, so our patients see a doctor who specializes in their particular injury.
I did have 2 consults with major New York City hospitals, but I just felt that the care was best here. I was treated like a rock star. The surgery exceeded any expectations that I had.
all right, and we're back for the URugby Bowl series, second half between University of Mary Washington and the Temple Owls. This is John Broker with Matt McCarthy from Rugby Wrap Up and Ryan Trost from This is American Rugby as Temple leads 19-14.
So we had a really long halftime break, right? Mary Washington was really building momentum there at the end of that first half. With an extra long halftime like that, do you think that steals a little bit of their momentum? Is there going to be some complaints there?
I don't know if it takes momentum from either team because they both have to get it going as Clegg gets our game underway. Matt McCarthy's favorite Finnish international. And Temple takes a ball into an early bit of contact here, and over the top they go. See what kind of adjustment they made at halftime is swallowed up by Terrence McPhillips as the midfield of Temple. And out to the wing again. These Temple players, really, really good ball skills, really good footwork, and making ground out there is, probably Gallagher again.
Yeah, it's the footwork that I'm most impressed with these guys so far. Good handling off the ground as well when the balls are skipping around.
And into the midfield the ball goes, and try to go out to the wing. Tremendous footwork there again. That's Gallagher there, yeah?
Yeah, Gallagher's wearing the 11.
And here we go. Ramos thinks he spots a gap, but can only take a couple of steps through it. As a pick and go, the big number 1, Matt Nicholas, the classic shaved-headed, bearded prop.
Pick and go, rugby's version of the hook and ladder.
And again, the pick and go goes here with Chris Hurry. And a little bit of hot potato going on inside that contact. As the ball comes back to Ramos, puts it in behind his back. So we have a penalty, referee Downey calling, coming in from the side against Mary Washington. Very kickable, but Ramos, nope, not Ramos that time. That's Shapiro, the fullback.
And future dentist. At least his mom hopes.
Moves it forward, and Temple in a good attacking position here, but strong defense up from Mary Washington. Stops James Archie, the try scorer, in his tracks.
Definitely good line speed on the defense for Mary Washington. Not necessarily in a line, but they're coming up hard. And something that Coach wanted to see. You'd like to see him with the spacing a little bit tighter, though.
And a little knock on there from Temple. We're going to have a scrum here to Mary Washington.
I don't know, that long layover between halves, it looks like it's not helping Temple right now. They look a little bit like the jet lagged almost.
See how that plays out. This is going to be Mary Washington ball. I believe Temple still has a player off the field for another couple of minutes.
Gentlemen, we were talking earlier about Gallagher on the wing, and I'm just wondering, did he switch sides?
Yeah, it looks like he switched over to the left, the weak side wing, left wing.
Prefers to be in the sun over here. As there we go out to some big forwards there, and it looks like Iskowitz, a big number 1, a key ball carrier for this team. Somebody loses a shoe as Temple makes a break for it, and here he is, Oscar Hernandez. Really, really just a lot of good work there from the hooker. And Temple again, all the field to work with. Put the ball into Jeff Mills' hands. Bobbled ball, but Temple retains possession here. Iskowitz is in the way. He's got to watch out as the ball comes over. They skip to Beck's hands, and they try to move it wide, but a little bobbled ball.
Another bounce pass.
And here around the corner with room to run, but he's in touch. Goes Northwood, and we're going to have a line out here to Temple. This field is just, I think a lot of these teams aren't used to playing on something where you hit the touch line and 2 feet away, cement for you.
Yeah, there's a little bit of dangerous stuff with the flipping onto your backside as you get the warning track.
Hey guys, it ain't tennis, okay? And that's number one. And thirdly, if you ever played at Randall's Island before the field turf years, this is a dream.
This is a dream come true compared to Randall's Island, where your pitches went uphill and to the left.
The concrete pitches with the drains in the middle.
Yeah.
The glass and the goose poop.
We only found 1 dead body floating down there. Night time.
A week.
Ball back to Clegg. Clegg inside his own 22. They're going to run for it. Tries to put a short pass in, but pops right up into the hands of Matt Beck, the fly half, moves it out wide there. 14, great footwork on Desky Deasy, however I'm supposed to pronounce it off this
Telling you, Temple's
roster.
really
And
good at cleaning
Temple
up the mess
again.
off the ground.
Just puts it
Over
in,
and
try
over
awarded.
again.
Deasy?
Zach Deasy.
Zach
yep.
Deasy.
Lots of dancing.
Zach Deasy with the try for Temple.
But again, cleaning the ball up off of the deck, right? The ball's bouncing around a little bit. Somebody's got the quick hands on it, quick pass out, and then those quick feet. Temple's pretty impressive with the way they play.
Yeah, Temple, very good team here.
Whole lot of spark plugs, right? You got Hernandez, you got Deasy, you got Gallagher, you got Ramos. Wellstein seems to be the only guy really like using the power game. The rest of them are pretty much stepping around, stepping through.
Stepping up for a kick now is Matt Beck to extend the lead here, currently at 10 points. Beck gets under that one a little bit, no good, and it's 24-14, Temple over University of Mary Washington. And while we wait for this next stoppage, let's talk about another couple of our sponsors. Boathouse Sports. Boathouse Sports is once again the official apparel sponsor of the 2016 Bowl Series. Boathouse Sports printed all the custom-designed goalpost pad covers, banners, and MVP performance jerseys used today. Headquartered in Philadelphia, all Boathouse products are American-made. Visit boathouse.com for more information. Jonathan Wicklow Barbary will be back with another ad announcement soon. He's hard to find, that Kiwi. But Temple takes a kickoff. Mary Washington working to push him towards the touchline. No such thing happening. An inside speculative pass there from Temple.
Yeah, Temple's passing has been not to say the least.
And here comes my favorite, Hernandez.
This kid, I like
Not
him
just
a
because
lot
I was a
too.
hooker, but you know that kid is putting in a lot of work right now. Impressive.
Yep. Very fast and strong. You know, he comes in fast, but he looks small. You think he's going to take a hit and go down, and he does not.
And really, you know, his opposite front row, I mean, he's about the size of one of Ryan Iskowitz's leg. And able to really keep those legs moving and just power through.
That low center of gravity we see on so many of these Temple players might have something to do with the way they're the first to the deck when the ball's bouncing around every time.
Yeah, they're playing with some speed. Referee Downey just sorting a couple things out here.
Pretty stylistic difference. I like the scrappy team at Temple. They really seem to be throwing monkey wrenches at the Mary Washington plan. They just can't get their rhythm going.
And in the second most important game today, we have a score update from Jonathan Wicklow Barbary.
That's right, the All Blacks are on top of Ireland, 14-9 right now at Aviva Park at Stadium in Ireland. And I've got to say, I'm torn on this one because my mum is from Ireland.
And who'd want to be in Dublin when you can be in New Rochelle as a replacement for Temple? Ball in just about 15 meters out from their own line. Referee Downey spots he's not releasing it. And here we are in big Iskowitz's hands here. Ryan Iskowitz, no problem carrying everybody on his back there. The Goliath touches it down and try awarded. University of Mary Washington.
If a tree falls in New Rochelle, does anyone see it? Yes, because Iskowitz is a tree, and he just fell into the try zone.
And he's got 7 Temple players for branches as we're going to come back here. And Justin Ford is going to have a shot at goal. And that brings it to 24-19 with a kick to come. And kick is good from Justin Ford, the junior from Virginia Beach, 2-year starter here. And
So back to within 3. Second half seems to be playing a little bit more into maybe Mary Washington's hands, as we know they're bigger. We thought they might wear Temple down. They're still within that three-point range. Kind of scoreboard plays into their hands. valiant for sure, but
Yeah.
do they outlast? How do they respond here? It'll be fun to watch.
As we wait for this kick, a shout out to another one of our sponsors. Hanging out after the game, head over to Beachmont Tavern. Located in the heart of New Rochelle, the Beachmont Tavern has been serving classic American comfort food since 1928. Be sure to check out their nightly and happy hour specials. To view their menu and specials, go to beachmonttavern.com. And we're back here.
1928 was a year before the New York Rugby Club, the oldest club in the United States, was formed in 1929.
Says the unbiased Matt McCarthy as Clegg, student body president at Mary Washington, brings it in and moves it over to one of his front row players. That's another big fellow there in Adam Thompson, the Scottish freshman. The ball is moved into the midfield, and that time Itzowitz is chopped down by one of these smaller in stature Temple players.
That was Stephen Engel taking down the big fella, but I'm not sure. That was a great stick.
This guy was very ginger to get up after that as well.
The ball moved out in the midfield there as Terrence McPhillips moves it on. But really, losing a couple of meters here is the University of Mary Washington team.
Gents, on the day, every match has been great to watch. And, we didn't know what was what coming in. It's a mixed bag, how these teams going to match up. Is one team going to blow out the next? We had a big score differential finally at the result of AIC versus Iona. But that match was back and forth the entire way.
Yeah, tight all the way. Just pulled away at the end, and that's how you want it, right? That's what you're hoping to see out of Iona, what you're hoping to see out of Temple, kind of playing as underdogs.
And here we are, three of us in the booth, Alex with us as well, and we're broadcasting rugby, Iona, college, great facility, 3-point match, sunny day, America is taking off.
Certainly is here as Mary Washington benefits from an infamous side penalty against Temple. Move the ball downfield, and they're going to have, with just 3 points in at the 40-meter line, a good attacking position here. As they've got a number of players standing wide here. Should be pretty interesting. Let's see what they're up to. But right there is Matson Bush. Gets held up, and the ball's chipped forward there by the scrum half. Scrum half Corley sees some space in behind, but ends up just putting a touch. I don't think their planned move went to hand.
I know that I got to pay my respect to Alex Goff on this one. He would probably say that was okay, and I could argue both sides of it in his behalf, but I don't like giving the possession away there. You are in a 3-point match. You're in the other team's end. Keep the ball. Let your big boys do some work.
And here we have Oscar Hernandez, a workhorse to put it in for Temple. And not quite happening there, but not straight.
A little bit of frustration setting in here with Mary Washington, the referee a little bit. It's number 7, Tucker Tuning, reminding his boys to calm down, focus on what they have to do.
Tucker Tuning, the captain, blessed with an absolutely great name for rugby.
So they turn the ball. Now they have the scrum on their favor. On the opposite team's defensive end.
The ball's at Lamarca's feet as they're driving forward. Lamarca, the number 8 sophomore. Ball moved out a little bit of pass not going to hand there.
Good defense.
Northwood gets
Good,
a ball he
good
probably
defense.
doesn't want, but we have a penalty for unbinding at the scrum there by Temple. And Mary Washington decides to slow it down as looks like a heavy hit. Looks like Northwood is down and is going to be receiving some attention.
That was James Archie from Temple with the big shot, cutting him in half there at the hip.
And just a big hit there. See how that works out. And while we're waiting here, we'll just talk about a couple more of our sponsors. URugby is proud of our association with the New Rochelle Physical Therapy. New Rochelle PT understands that people move a certain way after serious injury. They created the only LE rehab machine that works with patients' muscular system and nervous system, allowing recovery at a much faster rate. For information, visit newrochellept.com. orthopedic and neurosurgery specialists. Located in Greenwich and Stamford, Orthopedic Surgery Specialists is the most comprehensive practice in Connecticut. Their specialized physicians and are leaders in their fields, experienced in the most advanced and surgical procedures. Check out their website at onsmd.com. Quinn for the Win. Quinn for the Win is a proud sponsor of the 2016 Bowl Series. In their fight against ALS, Quinn for the Win collaborates with individuals and organizations to get behind the best and brightest in ALS research and defeat this disease. Let's fight together. For more information or to make a donation, visit q4tw.com.
What's special is that it has everything that makes academic medicine great. We have the fellowship-trained specialists, but we still bring the style and type of medicine that's indicative of a community practice.
We are all trained in our area of interest and expertise, so our patients see a doctor who specializes in their particular injury.
I did have 2 consults with major New York City hospitals, but I just felt that the care was best here. I was treated like a rock star. The surgery exceeded any expectations that I had.
And we're back here as Northwood seems to be up, recovering from that hit. He will be replaced for the remainder of this game. He was, a phenomenal part of this team so far. Northwood's really made a big difference. Good break down the side. Really,
Logan Ray looks like the man who's coming in to replace him at number 23.
He's a freshman.
From the Nova Rugby Club.
Northwood is that he is actually from Johnny Wilkinson's hometown. Sir Johnny.
We hear,
and his mom is listening in England. We were just informed by our executive producer, Steve Luciano.
this is Northwood. He's going to be okay. We can see him across the field and everything's fine. Greetings from Greater New York City. As after the penalty, we have, moving on here, Clegg, ball in hand, rushing defense there. I have to stop saying this. And Terrence McPhillips dragged down as the ball goes wide there to Boosh. Boosh is away, and a lead change again we have here as Matson Boosh, a 6'2", 200-pound junior, touches down. Old Dominion transfer, scores a try, and University of Mary Washington pulls ahead. Ryan, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is what we were thinking was going to happen as we were looking at the size difference, right? They seem to be outlasting Temple. Temple's had a lot of fight in them, but you see them holding their heads with the hands above heads, hands on hips. And Mary Washington seems to be, that methodical machine seems to be working now in their favor.
And Mary Washington, working towards a varsity program, big part of the campus. They have a field in the middle of campus, great stuff going on. So I'd assume, doing a lot of strength and conditioning, a lot of hard work there. This may pay off as this half wears on.
Absolutely. I was actually talking to John, their director of rugby before the game, and he was very happy with the way their first year as a varsity program has gone and what those resources meant as far as scholarships for guys, as far as facilities for guys, as far as medical care for guys. And it has made a difference, and he was very keen on talking about that already. That was Tim Brown from Mary Washington, the director of rugby.
We just found out it's Janice Northwood. Hello, Janice. How are you? And everything's still going to be fine. Everybody here very concerned. A little ball moved on there from Iskowitz. And a knock-on ball is going to be here for Temple. It's Ramos, the scrum half for Temple, has put it in. Temple has been able to really make the difference when they need to here. They got some great breakaway runners. Let's see where they go with this. They have some runners laying out wide. But pressure there from Mary Washington. They turn it over against the head. And the big number 8, Marca, comes up with it. And now to Clegg. Clegg to Terrence McPhillips. Terrence McPhillips finds his way through the midfield, barrels down as Greg Patempa, our producer, throws a chair at me, and the ball comes up for the big number 3, Adam Thompson, but he can't hang on to it. An offside penalty against Temple there, and we're going to have a shot for Mary Washington to move downfield.
I think that chair was meant for Ryan, to be honest.
Probably.
Yeah.
He was looking at me funny all day.
Trying to liven Ryan up a little bit here. And Clegg lines up his kick, gets decent distance on it. They're inside the Temple 40-meter line. Now here we are just, almost halfway through the second half. Mary Washington with a 2-point lead. Attacking position here, Ryan. What are you looking at them to do? Are they going to start playing a little safe, start to put to the corners, or you think they're going to
No, I think we've seen their bread and butter kind of come through. I think that they've decided who they are, that their fitness is where it matters. Yep. Jose Baringal Araujo has also come in to the game for our friends from Mary Washington.
Folks, off camera, we challenged each other to say that name, and Ryan just nailed it.
Maybe.
From Colorado, I know a lot of Spanish kids.
Ball up in the lineup there, swatted back by Philip Harrison from Kilmarnock, Virginia. Another pick and go here is the big fella Dacey.
A lot of 20s on the scoreboard. We have about 21 minutes left. 24-26 is the score in favor of Mary Washington. And do not tune out for 1 second in this one.
Ball continued to move forward here, but a penalty against Temple has a couple of quick pick and goes. Ended up with a few of the Temple players keeping their hands in there. And I think it was a smart play there from Ewan Corley.
Temple's got check time, right? They got things not going their way for quite a few minutes now. A couple coming from Mary Washington. It looks like a tide is turning. Where do you go from here? You got to gut check and turn it around for yourselves.
You don't want to make a penalty. You don't want to commit a penalty at the same time because a penalty kick wins this one. Really,
Yep.
Or could
Right.
conceivably win this one.
You got to start playing it a lot tighter, a lot cleaner. At the same time, your game plan and your strength is hard running, shifty running. You got to get that ball moving out wide still. So you got to be able to take risks, but not make mistakes.
Yeah, when you're talking about the college game, these kids aren't really ever going to change their style. They can't, right?
Right.
They don't know. No.
Right.
And a maul coming forward here gets brought down, and pick and go there, and a penalty against Temple. And Mary Washington slows it down just a little bit, and Clegg is calling, and he wants a kick to the corner there and go for another maul. I mean, you think about the gigantic size of this Mary Washington pack. You're 5 meters out. Your odds are pretty good.
Yeah. I agree with you, John. That this is where the bread and butter has to be for Mary Washington. You keep them on the back foot, just methodically push.
The ball is down to the replacement hooker, Fernando Mearson, who off is very big on, the Argentinian. One of the leading try scorers for the team gets it up. Ball's back in there, is back into the big fella Ryan Iskowitz's hands. Let's see if he's headed for a second try. Ball brought down. Pick and go coming from the tail here. Tough to see some numbers. We're going to have to see who comes up. But job not done yet. But there is Iskowitz.
Good job on Temple holding that big man up.
And they are utilizing that beef up front right now.
Yeah, this is where games
Corley's
are won and
looking for
lost.
some players. We
Long
get another pick and
defensive
go here
stands.
as they head towards the line. Referee is behind this, so he's going to see where he comes and see it on the line. Ball's at the back of that ruck cleanly, and another pick and go, and he barrels over the line. Let's see if he can get the ball to the ground, and I believe it's held up there, and we're going to have a scrum for Mary Washington. Great defense against some large fellas there by Temple.
Yeah, referee Tim Downey was right in there and did not see the Phil get to the turf, so it's going to be a scrum down.
So this is another one of those possible momentum turning events, right? You get these long defensive stands, take the gas out of that other team, and then all of a sudden you get the ball back on a turnover or mistake, and everybody's feeling 100% better.
This is a good
We'll see if they
chance
can
here.
withstand it, though. This is still dangerous territory.
We have a player down here for Mary Washington. Looks like a fairly strategic injury to me. Give his team a breather.
You know, the old leg cramp, right? Get a little water. Minutes, sir. Get you guys that are gassed, especially those big boys up front. Get a little breather. You know,
Regather your forwards and give it a shot.
Yep. Key moment of the game. You definitely want to get your battery recharged a little bit.
At the same time, you have Temple on their heels. You have momentum. You're in close.
Yeah, do you want to give Temple the breather? That's what they're doing as well. Temple's taking this time to regather their thoughts as well.
All right, here we go.
There's a big set of front row forwards set down there for Mary Washington. Corley surveys the scene, and our scrum is together. We'll see if there's going to be a turning point in the game, as Temple is under big pressure here, getting driven back and piles to the ground as Lamarca, the number 8, comes off the back and rolls around. Lamarca with the try, and Andrew Lamarca, one of the conference leaders in tries this year. Spent a summer playing rugby in Ireland. Certainly has paid off as he has touchdown, and Mary Washington starts to pull ahead again with about 18, 19 minutes to go.
Yeah, it's all Mary Washington right now. That's methodical stuff is what they did. You know, the bread and butter now is starting to pay off.
All 6'3" of the sophomore Lamarca put that one in, and he spent, if I'm not mistaken, a summer in Ireland playing rugby. This kid, despite the fact that he's a sophomore, has size and experience.
We know he'd be rooting for today, as
Conversion is good.
the conversion is good from Justin Ford. And 33-24, Mary Washington is pulling ahead here. I think some of the fitness work they do and some of the deep bench is starting to pay off for this Mary Washington team, as Temple certainly doesn't want to lay down here, but 15 minutes has a score starting to get away from a little bit.
As a varsity program, right, it's always refreshing to see what that does, and you have with this team, 4 Scotsmen, a couple of kids who have time in Ireland. You got South Africans coming in next year on this recruiting year.
Big Ithaca. Did you see the hair right there taking numbers in? Reminds me of a young John Broker. And takes it away to Corley. But we have a penalty there for offsides against Temple. And that was impressive by the big number 1 there. One of my fast favorites, Iskowitz. And Clegg is going to try to get some field position here.
How much time has elapsed since we said that he plays for the Finland national team?
I try to stay with that. I was leaning towards him being the student body president to talk about something else.
It's not every day you meet somebody that plays for the Finland national rugby team, right?
It certainly is. Clegg's had a good game today, keeping things calm. But, went to Washington Lee High School from Arlington, Virginia. So, finished by heritage.
Yeah, I like the adjustment at halftime for Mary Washington. They were doing a lot more backline moves in that first half, and they've really just decided, look, we do have the side. Let's make it happen.
And Corley was about to go to Clegg and finds it up back. Clegg comes in at the number 9 position, or the position there, and a big ball up to Lamarca, the try scorer, and he's got a head of steam. And 1, 2, or 3 players on him as he barrels and battles for a couple of more yards.
Guys, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention that was Hunter Fleeman throwing the ball in from the sidelines. Another great rugby name.
Corley now gets it up to Dacey. Dacey, a little tip pass up there to Harrison. The ball comes out to running set of forwards there as the big Australian replacement hooker comes in. But gets mowed down, and Clegg finds a little space there. He's looking for some room to run. And not releasing against Clegg, and Temple's going to have a penalty.
There's James Archie again with some great tracking defense. He's got a pretty good body on him. That kid's pretty fast, pretty fit. He's made a number of great tackles today.
Oh, I got the numbers wrong there, didn't I? They're out of order. Our apologies to the actual replacement hooker, Hunter Fleeman. They have numbers backwards on our roster here. As
Temple's
Temple
got
makes a
some
break,
space.
and Temple comes away with it.
Serenity.
Moves it to the wing.
This is the kid for the football guy. This is his first year playing rugby.
That's Serenity Bishop.
Serenity making some noise out there on the outside.
And another barreling run here from Temple. As the ball moves wide. And here, staying in the midfield.
Here we go.
Big
Now's
hard
the
run
time.
there as a try scorer.
10 points adrift, 10 minutes to go.
And that's Stephen Engel, the center, brings that one in. And trying to go around the side there is Oscar Hernandez.
Keeps it in. That's nice.
Fouled it
hands
forward,
again.
unseen by the referee.
Did you see that
Maybe.
stiff arm from Wellstein? Just classic pie face.
And here is scrambling to the side there. Chris Hurry finds a little space, and Temple going forward here as Hernandez comes in to secure it. Ramos to Beck.
Lost. That's unfortunate.
Stephen Engel can't handle it. And
It's not
Mary
how you
Washington
wanna
on the
finish
attack
that.
here.
You know, Engel might be looking up at some of those large Mary Washington defenders ready to take his head off.
Yep.
Dropped the ball before he had it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That was the first noise that Temple seemed to have made this half.
Clegg sees some space in behind there, and let's see how the foot race goes. As it gets a ball in hand, Andy has an advantage since he was batted down there. That's, you know, close to a penalty try in some people's minds, but we'll see where they go as the ball gets into Terrence McPhillips'
breaking
hands,
tackles.
and Terrence McPhillips drives it over, and McPhillips scores the try for University of Mary Washington. Terrence McPhillips, the Virginia Beach, Virginia native, keeps the poll Mary Washington ahead.
Yep. Shows why he was a D2 All-American. Staying true to the format, right? To the pattern. He's another gentleman who I think has had a very good game. Many good inside runs, many good defensive plays.
And Justin Ford again, much easier kick this time as it's 38-24 right now with about 13-14 minutes to go in this absorbing URugby Bowl Series contest.
Looks like the sticks stay down on that.
Ford, no problem.
That was
And
good.
it is 40-24. University of Mary Washington over the Temple Owls here at Mozilla Stadium. Again, this is John Broker with the Rugby Wrap-Up's Matt McCarthy. This is American Rugby's Ryan Trost and Alex Goff of the Goff Rugby Report, bringing you this great series as Temple set to kick off. Time winding down on them, chasing it.
15 points adrift now. You need 3 scores. Got 9 minutes to do it. No more mistakes.
Gentlemen, we have a 16-point margin. We have about 9 minutes left. We can start throwing around man of the match. I think.
Yeah, we can start throwing out some names here, I'd say. A couple of my favorites for the day were Oscar Hernandez, the hooker for Temple, just an absolute workhorse, and Ryan Iskowitz.
Yep. Yeah,
Just
I think those
fun
are
to
the
watch.
two names we've heard over and over.
A couple of dummy runs around, and Clegg finds who he's looking for, and boosh.
George Northwood had a nice match before he had to go off with the injury.
Yep, he certainly did. Oh,
Suing
an
him
attempted,
from Mom Janice back in England.
an attempted interception there by Temple doesn't work, and Dacey, the 6'6" freshman, moves it out to the wing. Great hands on some of these boys. Dacey, Iskowitz. As turnover there to Temple, but the big Iskowitz just absolutely blasts one of the players. The referee is going to come back here. Possibly
Referee
up for
Tim
a penalty.
Downey, who doubles as the director of rugby here at Iona College.
And we'll have a momentary chat here. We're going to see what's happening. And a penalty in from the side against Temple. wobbled for a second there. But Temple is back. Beck puts it wide. Archie. Moves it again. Beck. A couple of runners out there covered. We'll see what they can do. Ball popped up and knocked on, and we're going to have a scrum here for the University of Mary Washington. And before we end, we have a couple more shout-outs here. Shout out to our rugby ball sponsor, Smith Moore Leatherwood. Smith Moore Leatherwood commits their clients to provide the highest quality legal services for a fair and reasonable price. Their dedication to client success and legal excellence has distinguished the firm for nearly a century. For more information, be sure to visit smithmoorelaw.com. Matt, need a lawyer?
Always. Lawyers, you can't live with them and you can't live without them.
Matt travels with one. Here, just under the 10-minute mark. It's about 7 on the clock. But we've had some injuries. Clegg moves it to the try-scorer, who finds some more room again, is Terrence McPhillips.
You know, that was no easy catch by Clegg on that pass. It was a high pass, sun's in his eyes, took it seamlessly and kept the play going.
Iskowitz again on the run. I'm impressed with a, 6'5", 280-pound player really working into the 75th minute of this game and still going, still huge part of their attack, still up on defense, making big hits. That's a pretty impressive player.
Yeah, I've liked the way he's been the entire day, and he even looked like he was down for a little bit. He was the one down with that cramp. Clearly, that might have been a more strategic after all.
And Temple set to put the ball in this time. Has a bees on there from Mary Washington and turned over. It is scrum there for Temple, doesn't really work out, and penalty for not releasing, and Temple's going to be okay again as they go quick. As in front of the booth, we see the Stony Brook Seawolves, the Jerry Miro-led team, is going to be next up against Rutgers.
That Gallagher kid, again, the first time we've seen him finally have the ball here in this late second half, and again, making people miss, making gain line. Who I think on the Temple side you should think about for the man of the match.
Absolutely. Michael Wellstein?
I was talking about Gallagher, actually. Wellstein
Gallagher,
obviously, too, had a very good game.
Good players across the board. And Temple not done yet as they move the ball to Beck. He gets it out of the midfield. Cutback run there.
That was a great run.
Absolutely. Contained some of that defense there on the other side, but they go right towards it. Mary Washington was a bit stuck. As now Iskowitz gets his 280 pounds. Might be down to 275 after the game he's had. But he puts it into his tackle there as Temple just forced to chip it forward as time running down on the clock. Probably just a few minutes left here.
You know, the Owls are not going away. They are attacking. They are hitting. They're still in this. You got to tip your cap.
Yeah, it's the way you want to finish for sure. Like they've showed early on, and they've held it all the way through. Like they're a fighting team. They're a scrapping team.
And there he is again. Speaking of scrappy, Oscar Hernandez, the hooker, takes it in.
You saw the way Max Dacey just engulfed the Temple runner.
And Temple moves it out to the back line, ends up losing about 30 meters and driven over. Good turnover there as Harrison comes up with it, and he's yanked up to the ground. But the number 9 there is able to slip away, and he's making some ground, taken down with a pretty high tackle is Corley. And Alistair Weatherhall, the replacement, moves the ball out, but Corley back around this time, and the ball's out to Dacey. Dacey to the big number 3, Thompson. So they keep moving the ball.
You know, Corley's one of those Leicester Tigers development players. Tough little nut from England.
Pick and go time for 16. I will call him Hunter Fleeman this time appropriately.
More on Corley, he also played rugby league.
We're sorry for that, but
So
here we
he
go.
is a thug. in a good way.
Yeah, I don't know if Coach Minche would like hearing you say that. I think that's probably one of the things that they pride themselves on is having some of that league on this team.
Well, we've got lawyers sponsoring us, right? So I can list
You've
their
got it
help.
made.
Yeah.
Smithmore Leatherwood's got your back. As errant ball on the ground here, we're playing soccer all of a sudden, and Temple comes up with it. As Ramos once more.
That Temple ball carrier that just was taking the turf looks like a young Joe Kelly.
Matt Nicholas, I believe, is a rushing defense here, keeping the Temple backs behind their line.
What is with this and the Russian defense?
I gotta say my rushing defense. And there goes Hernandez taking it quick. Always making ground, always producing that ball. Really, really quality player. Oh, boy. Big hit there from Lamarca.
Big stick there.
Look pretty proud of that as
Felt that one back in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Stephen Engel makes a break, and we have a penalty here. Looks like for not releasing against Mary Washington, and Temple has the ball. And here they go quick. Ball out into Gallagher's hands. Gallagher marshaled by a couple of Mary Washington players.
More good fight from Gallagher.
And another penalty there. And Temple, late in this game, ready to go as the try scorer Wellstein takes it in. And taken away there as Corley just sees some space and happy to hook it downfield, slow things down, put it in a touch. And it's going to be, after all that work, Temple's going to have a line out inside their own 40.
Yeah, the guys shaking their heads, give it a valiant effort, but not quite the answers they needed.
Yeah, I think we're winding down here.
Gentlemen, as for that second most important match today, over the one they're playing in Dublin, the All Blacks did even the Test series at 1 apiece with a 29 win, and apparently the Irish fans are not happy with the refereeing. But we are very happy with the refereeing of Mr. Downey.
How could he not be? As we get on later in this game here, it looks like it's going Mary Washington's way with a 16-point lead and ball in hand as they go for a pick and go. Looks like Lamarca involved in the action again. They have some runners wide on the wing here as the replacement hooker, Hunter Fleeman.
Working the way for a little bit more, even though the clock indicates zeros.
Clegg tries to throw a dummy, nothing happening, swarmed by 3 Temple tacklers. As the ball comes to Dacey, Dacey moves the ball to their outside center. Boosh. Pronunciation apology if we're wrong, but not released there, and it's going to be penalty, and going quick is Ramos. And Temple, another great runner, slips by one of the forwards, slips by another, still on his impressive stuff here as Hernandez. Hernandez makes a break. Look at Hernandez over the halfway line. What an impressive player, still alive, pops it up to one of the replacement runners there. And
Bishop.
Away they go. That's Serenity. Serenity Bishop headed into the try zone, and try awarded. Serenity Bishop after some great individual play by Hernandez, great individual play by some other players.
That was Gallagher
and,
who initially took that ball off of the dirt.
Gallagher
again.
took the break.
Serenity Bishop.
Good finish for Temple, you know. Scrappy team. I like the way they played all day. They surprised us early on with how much, tenacity they had, and they kept with it despite getting, kind of pummeled there for a good 20 minutes.
And no time on the clock. We're in referee's time here, so. We are at 40-34. And University of Mary Washington gathering behind their try line as Matt Beck lines up. See if he can draw within 9 here. Beck takes a long look at the posts and pulls it as it's 40-29. University of Mary Washington over Temple. And final score here at the URugby Bowl Series. University of Mary Washington 40, the Temple Owls 29. We'll be back with some Man of the Match awards. We'll be back with some more high school rugby. John Broker with Ryan Trost and Matt McCarthy. Back momentarily.